sick. Put this to music. Incredible try. Pandemonium. Absolute save. The crowd goes wild.
Kia ora, good evening. I'm Andrew Mulligan, she's Storm Purvis, and tonight on The Crowd Goes Wild, the Irish are more forward than that U2 band that put that album on your phone that you didn't ask for.
That's right.
We're live to Mills to talk our chances in the quarterfinal. Portugal stunned Fiji, but also eliminated Aussie. And Shane Van Gisbergen and Richie Stanaway are iconic drivers.
Iconic. All that plus Makoni is shifting through the gears in France, and Jimmy Spittle loves going fast on the water. Shock. But first,
the big juicy news story at the top of the show.
Leading your CGW tonight, it's business. It's business time at the Rugby World Cup as the inevitable clash with the seemingly unbeatable Irish has fallen squarely on the plate of the All Blacks, or Uber Eats bag.
does this mean, for the first time really ever, or at least in my memory, the All Blacks are the underdog in a Rugby World Cup knockout game?
Yeah.
Honestly, it doesn't really interest me. I'm not big on claiming underdogs or claiming favourites. I know we believe.
Maybe Fozzie doesn't believe in the underdog tag, but Ireland's finance minister sure does.
I mean, you guys took 20 minutes to score a try against Uruguay. We destroyed them in 40 minutes. Game was over.
It's low for the corner. 63 seconds gone, and Ireland stupefy the Scots.
I mean, fair play to you for turning up next weekend, but I mean...
Yes, it's going to be a tall order, to be sure. And in case you forgot, here's a list of reasons why.
They're playing well, pretty well organised, and so they'll be confident on a massive winning streak. Obviously got a clear goal to create history for themselves. The fact that it's Ireland and playing well on top of their game, world number one, just makes the challenge nice and simple.
The Irish are on a 17-game winning streak, but their last loss was an Eden Park spanking.
Brilliant try by Ali Savia, and they win it by 42-19.
They did, however, start the streak with 2 wins over the All Blacks, but hey, that was ages ago, right?
Yeah, well, they've definitely improved since we played them. So the performance they had against Italy last week was pretty impressive. They're definitely going to come out looking for revenge, but we feel there's more in us as well. So yeah.
We know in the past it's incredibly tough opponents, and they've been going incredibly well. And it's definitely not going to be an easy fight, but we're more than up for it.
Ireland have never made it past the quarterfinal stages at a World Cup. And as much as we enjoy hearing 60,000 people singing the Cranberries, it's up to the All Blacks to ensure they're listening to this 1998 Irish one-hit wonder instead.
I am nervous that we will not win against you.
Rapomare, up the All Blacks.
Bit of bewitched, eh? All right, let's cross to Mills, Muliaina. Right, Mills, kia ora. Given that we've lost 4 of the last 5, the last 10 years they've been building up to this point now, who learnt more about each other in the series last year between these two teams? Was it the Irish or was it the All Blacks? Who do you think?
Oh, gee, Muliaina, guys. Mate, I'm going to lose sleep over listening to that stat that you've just sort of mentioned, the fact that we've lost so many times. But I think we've learnt a heck of a lot. There's still a lot of hurt as well from that sort of series loss against the Irish, and I think we're cruising nicely. But I'm a little bit like most people. I'm still a little bit nervous about this game because the Irish are looking damn good.
I think, Mully, you said to me off air, I'm nervous as F before we went live. So we're all feeling it, Mills. It's going to be a long week. If we have a look at the All Blacks, just to have a little discussion about team selections this week. Focusing on the bench, who do you think gets the special slots there? Are we going to see D-Mac? Is that kind of locked in?
Well, I think D-Mac has sort of put his hand up, hasn't he? You know, he's gone out there, played 10, also played at fullback, so he covers most of those, the 10 and 15 position. I think the makeup of who sort of fits that midfield role, it's obviously Anton Leonard-Brown in terms of what he can cover, but also up front there are a few injury scares. Obviously, Terrell Lomax. We heard yesterday that he is going to have a little bit of a run around today. It is a little bit of a tweak, but sort of, what do they do in that lock position? We've seen how fantastic, our most kept All Black, Sam Whitelock, You know, but then you know the Lucy trio, you know, who covers that? But for me, D-Mac has to be there. The way he's gone in this tournament and what we've seen over the last few tournaments is guys in really good form. You know, they will make a difference. With D-Mac, he's just full of confidence at the moment, and it's something we're going to possibly need against the Irish.
Mills, this is kind of, I don't mean this in a bad way, and it's not a loaded question, but talk me through, like, 2007, the quarterfinal loss in Cardiff. Like, honestly, I'm not drawing comparisons to it, but how did that shape the way that we now approach knockout rugby at the World Cup? Because we're a part of it in 2011, 2015, 2019, it was kind of a, like, I don't know, I can't put my finger on it, still 4 years later. But how is the evolution of the All Black psyche that you can speak on going to be in this quarterfinal against the Irish? Because the semi-final looks pretty sweet, if I can just touch wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I think, you know, and a lot of pain went through that sort of 4 years after the 2007. I think we're in a different position. You mentioned the fact that, well, we heard before in your segment, you know, Fozzie talking about the expectations. The Irish have never felt that, and you've almost thought that they might have crumbled a little bit in these sort of pool games. They haven't. So the expectation of being number one, you know, going through that sort of streak, you know, big time rugby. This is knockout stage rugby. You know, how are they going to actually handle that sort of expectation that they are the world number one? We've gone through a lot of that. You know, we now come into this as the underdogs, but I think, you know, mentally for our guys, we've probably learnt a heck of a lot through this, you know, particularly the challenging times. And I probably sort of look back at that South African game where, you know, everyone sort of wrote us off, you know, in terms of the way they came back. They should have actually lost, but they came out and, you know, performed really well. What we do know about the All Blacks is when the heat is on, and they are sort of given that underdogs tags, they come out firing, and I'm hopeful. In fact, I'm optimistic that we'll do the same this weekend.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear. So why are we going to win this test match, Mills? What's the key, do you see? Is it the first 15, 20 minutes? Is it the way we attack them at ruck time? Is it how do we contest it line out? Is it how we try not to get sucked into that double dummy runner play that would be caught offside and off in the NRL?
You're so salty about this.
I'm so salty on
the Johnny Sexton play.
You know, the Johnny Sexton play with Bundy as a decoy? Oh, it's... Anyway.
Or how we can bribe the referee. Maybe we should give them and send them some gifts. I don't know who we've got. Maybe it's Wayne Barnes. But
no!
The ruck's going to be massive, Miles. That's an area. That's an area where it's hotly contested. Our front row. I mean, gee, they've got a heck of a pack. But for me, really, it's about that sort of the breakdown. You know, the physicality at breakdown. We'll be a lot better in terms of our attack play than what Scotland sort of offered them. But also, when the game does go slow, have we got the ability to say, well, let's kick the ball and be comfortable without the ball in hand and really back our defence and be patient in terms of the discipline around there? Because if we give away penalties, they have got a very good line-out drive as well. So I think the breakdown and the ability to compete without the ball in hand.
Love it.
Love your work,
It's going to be a long week. Thanks, Mills.
Thank you, mate. Love it. Enjoy.
Cheers, guys. Go the All Blacks.
Go
Yeah,
All
Mills.
Blacks.
From
Okay, warming up your vocal cords for this one. From one World Cup to another, the
Black Cats!
We'll be at it again tonight against the Netherlands after their dreadful start to the Cricket World Cup. Glenn Phillips provided some insight on the mood in the camp at the pre-match press conference this morning.
The mood's very neutral. Obviously, we enjoyed the first win incredibly much, but obviously with the tournament being such a quick turnaround, we try to keep things as neutral as possible, not get too high when we win and not get too low when we lose.
Neutral, schmootral. We're as high as Andrew Mulligan let loose in Amsterdam, and we're fizzing for another demo job at the expense of the Dutch.
I actually slept a lot.
I think the way they're trying to play their cricket at the moment is very aggressive.
They're a team that'll scrap.
They're obviously, you know, up for every game.
They're up for every game that they play, and
you know they're not going to die wondering.
They're a team that I think won't go away.
You know they're gonna play some shots, and you know we got to be on as well.
Yeah, meanwhile, Australia absolutely shanked it overnight.
Oh, yeah.
After setting India a chase of 200. They couldn't have started better with the ball.
Got in, pitched it up and swung it. Close, you know, close, yeah. A third one down. The absolutely perfect start for Australia.
we watch these nauseating scenes, King Coley said, "Hold my beer."
Yes.
He was embarrassingly dropped by Mitch Marsh, who didn't even make contact with the ball.
Useless.
Had them at 4 for 20. Blaze it. Alas, Coley went on to hit 85 of 116, helping India to a 6-wicket win. They had like 9 overs left or something, so great start for India, great start for New Zealand. Possibly have Southee, definitely Lockie Ferguson back tonight. I don't know who's going to be in the 11. I would say Lockie Ferguson, give Tim Southee a little bit longer.
And then obviously work Kane in a little bit later on in that group play.
They were saying game 3, but I'm like, don't rush that. Don't rush him.
You don't need to.
No, it's a fielding that he's most worried about. And the outfields over there at the moment look terrible. Everyone's jamming their knees and stuff. So don't rush back Kane is what we're saying.
After the break, Portugal are no longer a football country, people. Oh. We're into these Gen 3 supercars more and more after Bathurst yesterday, aren't we? And McConey is his best version of himself at the Rugby World Cup.
I can transport myself 10 months' time for an Olympic final. That's what it's going to be like. Here we go. Luca Jones flew out there. Luca has a sneaky look over her shoulder. She decides to go to one side. Woods is following her.
It's on here for second.
It is on for second, but Luca Jones,
Go Jones.
Luca Jones, good on you.
She has looked untouchable today.
Hasn't she?
She has.
Man, huge congrats to Luca Jones, who won her first World Cup gold overnight, like ever. Can you believe that? In France, kayak cross will make its debut at the Paris Olympics next year. Yes.
Whoa, Luca's
good.
Right, welcome back, everyone. There's very few things in this world that make Ford Ranger owners stop in their tracks, and school children aren't one.
Bathurst is what he's referring to, but that wasn't the only bit of car stuff on this weekend. Here's Fitz with the scoop.
You're the worst for
it. It was a good weekend of motorsport with Bathurst and F1 in Qatar. And depending on your poison, you either look like this or this. Yeah, F1's tough on the sleep schedule. And it was tough on Liam this weekend too. He was in the kiddie litter on lap 1 of the sprint race. Aussie Oscar Piastri won it before old mate stole his thunder.
His first win in Formula 1 for Oscar Piastri and Max Verstappen, a 3-time champion.
To the main race though, where everyone's cousin showed up.
Sonny Williams. Quarterfinals next week to watch All Blacks win some games, hopefully.
So he's almost as big as Vin Diesel.
What do you mean almost? Once underway, Russell binned his teammate.
Come on! What the hell?
And Max won. Today's pretty much a public holiday for all your bogan mates because it was Bathurst yesterday and everyone was talking about this bloke, Richie Stanaway, who was this bloke's co-driver last year. He teamed up with SVG to tackle the mountain in what was Shane's last blat before NASCAR next year. So no pressure.
What would it mean to you to grab another Bathurst before you went?
Everything.
Yeah, that's a great response.
Man, a few words, but they were too good.
Shane Van Gisbergen is now a 3-time winner of the Great Race.
Unbelievable feeling. It's a childhood dream of mine to win this race.
Heartwarming, but don't just take my word for it.
Hey, Murph, what do you reckon of the...
Big fan.
Sorry.
Big fan, mate.
What do you reckon of the race?
That was good, eh? Yeah, good race.
And Richie?
Stanaway.
Yeah.
Brilliant, yeah.
And what about, Shane?
Fantastic. Watch out for the pole.
James Fitz, crowd goes wild.
Oh, Murph. Okay, 2 things. Firstly, during that story, you said you've met Vin Diesel.
Yes.
And who's bigger?
Oh, Sonny Bizzle.
By far,
By
right?
far.
Surely.
Yeah. So, Vin Diesel was filming one of the Fast and Furious, I think, 1427.
That one, yeah.
In
Classic.
London, and he was on a Segway near where we were based as Sky TV for the London Olympics.
Ah, I see.
And he popped his head in because there was a soundstage nearby, and then he segued off into the sunset. It was very surreal, but Sonny Bill is bigger.
Are there any segues on Fast and Furious?
No.
Do they race those?
I can't segue into this next point, though.
Oh.
Shout out to Stephen McIver and Greg Murphy, Sky Speed. Make sure you watch that show.
And Richie Stanaway, legend.
Yeah, and Shane
Racing for
Mangus,
Grove
baby.
next. Oh, yeah, of course.
Way to do this. All right. Early this morning, Portugal became the happiest team to exit the Rugby World Cup early, ever, easily. They returned back to Toulouse to win, and this time they had the backing of all of Portugal and Australia in a spicy first half.
We have a lot of Australian fans.
Yeah, I know, we know.
Yeah, no thank you. We knew Eddie Jones would be watching on, but we didn't expect him to go full Nacho Libre.
It's a breakout try for Portugal. A little bit of magic.
Okay, then they proceeded to bust the myth that being tired is no longer a viable excuse.
I think it's all come from the heart. When you are tired, you have to think all the stuff you do before and get with your partners and say, let's go, let's do it.
The call was a little ambidextrous, using both left and right wings.
Samuel Makish just strikes it superbly.
But a fairy tale finish and a positive swan song for the bald man.
Obviously, I can die tomorrow. It's going to be awesome day for me.
A little loose on the translation there, but you get what you mean.
We get what he means.
Yeah, we do.
For sure. So obviously Fiji go through and play England, and then Wales play Argentina. And
Yes.
so if we win,
We play the winner of Wales-Argentina.
Yeah.
And the winner of
France, South Africa will play probably England.
France, South Africa.
I know.
Cheapers creepers.
Hey guys, Uber Eats are still running their cliche codes promotion. You'll be able to get 30% off your order if you crack the cliche code. So keep an eye on @Uber_New Zealand socials for clues.
Oh yeah,
Here it is.
It's down there.
That's here, over here.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Welcome to the break, because Makoni is still stealing the show over on NZR Plus and stealing the hearts of the who's who of rugby administrators.
Yeah, here he is with one such kingpin of the game outside a cafe in Paris.
John Jeffrey, the great white shark. Get out of it, Greg Norman. This is a rugby story with a Scottish legend.
Thanks to Bill McLaren, I know you're from Kelso, from the borders. Are you still living in Kelso, and what's it like there?
Yeah, look, I still live in the same house I was born in. I'm a farmer. Well, I do live in a lovely part of the world. But you see, when I open the curtain, see that hill across there? That's England. That ruins my view.
Jeffrey is vice chairman of World Rugby, which even took him by surprise.
You know, when you're a player, you're not ever going to become an Alakadoo. But
Did you just say Alakadoo?
I did say Alakadoo.
What does that mean, please?
An Alakadoo is, in the old days, is the committee men who go around with the blazer on and the tie, and they drink gin and tonic, and they sit at the back of the box. Probably what I do now, actually.
He accepts rugby needs to change, but there's so much to Alakadoo.
How can you make rugby great again, do you think?
I know words, I have the best words.
We're in an entertainment business now. Is the game entertaining enough? No. It's going to be entertaining to watch, entertaining to play. So we need to be smarter with our rules. We're starting to do that at World Rugby. We're having these shape of the game conferences. Ball and play time, sadly, in the first 2 weeks of the Cup is down on the previous 2 World Cups. There's too many kicks in the game now. Can you ban box kicking? So I think we need to step on the gas and say, yeah, let's trial things. Let's think outside the box.
Well, there's just one last question for my new mate, John.
Will you be my Facebook friend?
Look, we just met. We're having our first coffee. I'll wait till you send me a letter. You write to me, phone me. Then you can become a Facebook friend.
Can we do that again with you saying yes? I'll just try that again, shall we? Will you be my Facebook friend?
Of course I will be.
Yes. Facebook friends forever. You can take our Twitter, but you can never take our Facebook. Now, shake hands like a Scotsman.
Love it.
Freedom!
A straight talker with a really bent finger. James Makoni, Crowd Goes Wild, Paris.
Whoa. That's cool.
Still to come on the show.
Dumped.
NFL just touched down in London town again. Jack and Nakanori at soccer football highlights from the EPL. Back of the net. And we highlight correct tackling technique and smashes as well.
The first of 2 games in Tottenville Hotspur Stadium. There's Etienne up the middle. Etienne is free. Etienne! Touchdown! 35 yards! Your final score here in Tottenham, 25-20.
Oh, look, the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Buffalo Bills at Spurs Stadium, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Jaguars, that's their second win in London in a week. They've been there the whole time.
Should just stay there forever then.
It's a hell of a lot better than
America would love
Jacksonville.
that. Yeah.
Have you heard about Jacksonville?
No. Tell me about Jacksonville another time, not now. Okay. Next time. Farmers! I know there's been a lot going on for you with the release of the Posh and Bex doco and things really heating up in the EPL, but it's probably time to give your cows some attention, okay? The first 84 minutes of the Arsenal-Man City game saw more disappointment than a claw machine at an arcade. The 86th minute, however, saw Arsenal win big, like giant stuffed Pikachu big.
Now Kai Havertz, Aki close to him, Martinelli's deflected it off Nathan Aki! It feels like a crucial, critical blow to the champions!
Man City had no reply, and Arsenal now sit top of the table with Spurs. Wolves and Aston Villa went tit for tat and got one each.
As far as Cash, Watkins at the far post, the chance is in! And Villa have produced an immediate response.
West Ham and Newcastle were both busy getting 2 goals each for a lovely old draw, with the best celebration going to West Ham's Thomas Souček, very Billy Elliott inspired. Yeah, great film.
Oh.
I have a bone to pick with you. Erling Haaland hasn't scored in 3 straight matches. Did you make him your captain?
I did.
Oh,
Ow! Storm Purvis.
Your fault. Did you actually?
I did.
Approximately 3.
Erling Haaland has been off the boil after I put him in my team last season. He hasn't been as good as he was at the start of last season.
Ruining it for everyone.
I will disband my team.
Yeah, I think that's smart.
Do you want me to bend over and pick up that pen?
I would also like that too. I can't bend over anymore.
Okay, well, can you just read the bit where I'm supposed to read?
Yeah, this is Andrew, okay? What do you get when a professional wakeboarder gets together with an America's Cup skipper, and not just any AC skipper, Jimmy Spittle to be exact?
You get a pretty sketchy but equally awesome idea. Here's Anna with the result.
It's fun.
Jimmy Spittle and Greek pro wakeboarder Nicholas Plaitas have 2 things in common. They share a few sponsors like Red Bull, and they love going really fast. So this right here actually makes a lot of sense.
Once he sort of said, hey, this is what I want to do, we're like, okay, let's just see how it goes. I wasn't convinced he was going to be able to hold on at the higher speeds, especially with the chop we got.
Before they wrapped up, Nicholas asked Jimmy to pull him into a turn, essentially hitting the NOS button.
Sort of the final thing you wanted to do was just go as fast as possible and then have us whip him before the chase button. And so I was like, yep, no problem, mate, if that's what you want. Afterwards, I said, man, I was impressed you were able to hang on through that. And I think he said words to the effect of, well, I was worried if I let go, I would be dead.
Well, apparently that's just Nicholas in his element.
Felt really good at that moment. And then I enjoyed it all because it's something I've never experienced before. It's a great feeling. And this acceleration and this kind of a whip.
Being an extreme wakeboarder, Nicholas has a high tolerance of fear. So staring at some hydrofoils that could literally chop him in half was all good, eh?
I really enjoyed the feeling to be so close to the boat. It was, I felt this great connection and it was amazing.
Were you tempted to give it a hoon out the back or nah?
Mate, I would have loved to have just subbed out and had a go. I'm not sure I would have had a crack at the whip that he had a go at. I'm not sure my knees are up to it anymore.
And as for Nicholas, who does some pretty crazy stuff for a job.
How does this stack up? You know, will this be something that you'll remember forever?
It's an experience I will never forget. I cannot explain how great it was to be towed behind this prototype. With the power of the wind only, it was amazing.
Well, thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Anna Wilcox, crowd goes wild.
I feel like that tiny little helmet, he could just be wearing a whole lot more than that. Whoa.
Man, I can't even get up on a wakeboard if I'm being towed by a speedboat. I don't know what we're doing with that stuff.
Just noticed that. It's Jimmy.
There's Jimmy! Look at him. He's a weapon. All right. This week, people, we get to see democracy at work. There's nothing democratic about this segment, however. If we choose them and if we miss one, you go cry in the Facebook comments. Wrong graphic! In New Zealand, stewards are known for occasionally using their shoulders to stop pitch invaders.
Flings it out to Stewart. He's hit hard. Fritz Lee helps him up afterwards.
But in France, Samoans have been turning the table. England's steward tried to invade Samoa's half and felt the wrath of Tuala. Danny Tuala! Smash it, bro! Okay, hear me out. Orange guy is the voting booth, and the guy in white is us doing our civic duty.
Yeah.
Let's all hit the voting booths with the same gusto as this Oklahoma defender. Exercise your right, people. Billy Bowman. Smash it, bro! Hey Siri, what stops a charging Markle and rhymes with sword?
Oh, good pressure coming up. Josh Lord just flattening Robinson. He read it well.
Well, Tane Robinson was stopped by the Lord of Taranaki and forced to have a takoto on the whenua. Josh Lord, smash it, bro! Did you know rugby is Georgia's national sport and a close second is pinball?
Sakanadze does really well. Hits a couple.
But how about this for a bit of bosh from Becca Sakanadze?
But instead of silver balls and old machines in Georgia, it's more of a human pinball situation. Here's their flanker giving Wales a lesson mid-game. Becca Sakanadze, smash it, bro! Now, it's the final 2 minutes of your World Cup, and you've conceded about 150 points in 2 games.
Take that.
This Italian bloke decided not to scream into his pillow and instead went screaming into the back of a Frenchman, Melvin Jomini. Sebastian Negri, smash it! We're done. Just quickly.
What?
This could be the last All Blacks game for some of our best.
Why would you even say that?
We should just think about that in the back of our minds, but I hope it isn't. Up the All Blacks!
God.
Up the All Blacks!
Yes.
No, Sarah.
Sarah.
You will not be washed on again.
Goes